Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So today I'm going to be sharing 10 Ramadan freezer-friendly meal preps that I make to make my life easier during Ramadan. I make various different things that are actually quite easy to make, really tasty, and I feel like they're not the conventional Ramadan stuff other than the samosas and the spring rolls obviously. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. I am going to be freezing everything that I'm making here. I will be defrosting it or cooking it straight from frozen. The first thing that I do every time I'm making a meal prep, you guys know, I start with the onions. I'm using this amazing blender that comes with various different types of attachments. This one I use for chopping onions, blending meats, etc., and I will use the pulse mode to get the onions chopped as if they were chopped it on a board. I don't like it to be made into a puree. I just feel like I like it better like this. It still has the shape and it holds better, so this is how I like it. And the first thing we're going to make is some vegan sausage rolls, my kids' favorite snacks. I always make this for them after school. All you need is a pack of those Richmond sausages and puff pastry. I get the casing off the sausages, and once that's done I can add in extra seasoning. This one is sage and onion, so I add in some salt, a lot of black pepper, and then by the way, I do taste as I go along to make sure everything's flavored. I add in some dried parsley, a bit of garam masala, started to mix it up, and then as I tasted it, I did realize that it needed a bit more flavor, so I went in and added in some garlic granules, smoked paprika, and I mixed that up. And once it looks like this and it tastes good, I put it on the puff pastry, and then I realized actually it'll work out better if I made them into the actual sausage shape, and then I just fold the puff pastry. This way I can make the most out of the puff pastry without getting messy. So once I've done that, I just close the ends with a fork, then I cut it up into small pieces. You can actually just leave it like that or cut that into two if you like, but my kids prefer it mini like this. You do get a lot out of this because look at this. I'm using, I think I got 3 large sausage rolls out of this one puff pastry, and I wasn't left with any filling afterwards. So it is perfect, 1 puff pastry for 1 of those sausage roll things. So once I'm done, I did give it a light wash with eggs and a bit of milk, and I added some sesame seeds and took it straight into the freezer. Next I have baby chicken cut into 8 pieces, and by the way, did you see that bit of blood there? This is precisely why I wash my meat, and I will never have anyone tell me any different, because imagine I just marinated my meat with a bit of blood on it. Yuck. So once I wash my meat, I do wash my hands with antibacterial and I spray the area, so don't worry about it. And then I went and cut some slits onto the chicken so that the flavor can get deep into the chicken. Added in some smoked paprika, a bit of coriander powder, a bit of this powder. I added in some of this Maggi seasoning, some kefir, which is way better than Greek yogurt. It's got that nice tangy taste. Added in some lemon and black pepper seasoning, some fresh garlic, lemon juice, mixed it all up. By the way, I did have 2 baby chickens, and I just showed you me marinating 1 because what's the point of doing 2? It's the same thing. I put it on one of these freezer bags, laid it flat, and I'm going to freeze it like that, so when it comes out it's easy to defrost and put in the oven. So that's done. Now we are making the meatballs and the samosa filling. I'm using chicken thighs, and my husband's cleaning it out for me, bless him. I don't like to touch chicken like that. So once it's all cleaned out, I've added in some coriander and green chilies. He's such a good sport. He helps me with all the things I hate doing. May Allah bless him immensely. I'm using some of the onions to make the samosa filling. So like I said, I'm using chicken thighs, which is so tasty, way tastier than chicken breast. And then in another pan, I'm using the onions to make some chicken and mushroom filling. If you guys have never tried this method where you get a potato masher for the mince so you can get it as finely as possible, do try it because it works amazing. These are the seasonings that I'm using for my samosa, as well as some sweet corn. Here I am just taking some clips for reels so that I can share behind the scenes on there. I added all the seasonings in there. I just eyeball everything, honestly. I don't do anything by measurements, and then I taste it as I go along. If I need to add a bit of extra, I do that. Look how good this looks, and it tasted so good. I forgot to show you guys, but I did add some lemon juice in there. It was amazing. And then I chopped up some coriander, added it in, some fresh chilies as well, forgot to show you guys. Mixed it all up, and that is the filling done. This is one of the tastiest fillings that I made, hands down. Please try it, so good. And this is the spring roll making station that was created by my husband. He makes the spring roll. This is just a mixture of flour, some water to act as a glue. So that's all that he's done so far, and this is the method that he uses in case you guys don't know how to do the spring rolls, or you do but you do it differently. Please tell me if everyone does it like this. I don't even know how to do it, if I'm honest with you, so I can't talk. He is the spring roll master wrapper, as you can see. Look at him go. I actually always tell my husband I don't know how to do certain things, just so he can do it for me. And that is basically the tricks, ladies, of never having to do things yourself. So, and I've actually learned how to do spring rolls from watching this. So in one of the Ramadan vlogs, I might actually attempt to do a different filling. So with the leftover chicken thigh mince that I used some of to make the samosa filling, I wish I made more, but I went ahead and added some more onions. I went and added these seasonings, added some garlic granules, fresh garlic, some turmeric, some cumin, all of that good stuff, a bit of olive oil, and mixed it all up just like that. I also added in some fresh coriander, parsley with a bit of green chilies and chili flakes. This is one spicy meatballs that I made, but it's just for us. So this is going to go in the freezer, and we're going to basically either cook it in the air fryer, make it into like a meatball sub. My favorite way to use it is by making the chickpea curry, which I'll show you guys once again in the Ramadan vlog, so make sure you subscribe. And then I just pop it in the freezer like that. So next we're going to make some mini chicken and mushroom pies. In one of the pans we added some onions earlier to saute. It sauteed to perfection. We've added in some fresh garlic, added in the mushrooms, chopped up into tiny pieces, added in some chicken breast. Now that's cooking off. We added in some mixed herb, parsley, salt, loads and loads of black pepper, as you can see, grinding the fresh pepper, and mixed it all up. And then we just tasted it as we went along, just to make sure it didn't need any extra seasoning, but it did, and we've added more. Mixed it up and made sure it tasted perfect. Added in some single cream because we couldn't find double cream for some reason, and this is how it ended up looking. I added extra pepper because I could barely taste it. I don't know if it wasn't well, but anyway, added in some cheddar cheese, and when you mix it, it has such a nice cheese pull. But anyway, that is the filling done. We left it to rest, and in the meantime I went and got my puff pastry. Actually, is it short crust? I don't know, short crust or puff, one of them. I'm gonna write on the screen or in the description box. I just got one of these circle things just so that I can basically get the shape. You can use anything you want. And once I got all of them out, I mushed up the rest together and rolled it so we can make more. That's basically the gist of it. All you want to do here is just make a little circle or a rectangle, whatever you want to do. I did mash up the chicken so that it wasn't like a lump of chicken, and I tried to do like a little design. I'm not gonna lie, my husband said it wasn't that good, and I have to agree with him. I should have told him I didn't know how to do it. Can you do it for me? And it probably would have turned out better. But yeah, this is the end result. It is going to taste banging because the filling is so good. So here my husband has just blended up like a bunch of herbs like onion, garlic, ginger, all of that, and we are making some fresh burger patties and meatballs. So he's added in that seasoning, the meatball seasoning from the Turkish shop, some of that black pepper and lemon and herb seasoning, mixed it all up, and this is going to make a lot of meatballs for the kids because sometimes they like to just have meatballs pan fried with some spaghetti on the side, and it makes life so much easier for me. I'm doing all of this, by the way, so that I don't have to stand up and cook for them because obviously I'm fasting. We added in 1 cracked egg, some of this Turkish red pepper paste, which transformed the color of this mince, and the flavor of the Turkish red pepper paste is insane, way better than regular tomato paste. And then we're making the very final thing, which is this spaghetti sauce or Bolognese sauce, whatever you like to call it. I'm making that. I've just sauteed onions, added in some of this garlic and ginger paste, and it turned the onions into that weird wet look, which is so weird because I've always used fresh. but I thought out of convenience, let's use the ginger garlic thing, but I'm not doing that again because it smelled weird. Anyway, you see the seasonings that I added. I'm using some of that Turkish red pepper paste again because I'm telling you, this stuff is so good. It has actually replaced my normal tomato paste. And in that blender, I added in 3 tomato cans, some of that coriander, a bit of chilies, and then I just added it into the mince once the mince was fully cooked. Mixed it all up and popped the lid on. My husband was having none of it. He said, you're gonna add some of that tomato paste because it gives it that rich red color. He was right. Look at that. It honestly tastes so good. So that is my sauce done. I garnished it with chopped coriander, and that was that. I'm gonna be using this 2 ways. One way, which is, as you can see, for lasagna. The other way, I'm just going to freeze some in a bag so we can use it for spaghetti and penne pasta, etc. So we like to use fresh lasagna sheets, and this is one of the reasons why. Look how easily you can manipulate it. You can just create any shape you want out of it. Perfect. And it tastes better than the dry ones. So we're just layering up here, and then the last edge pieces I'm just popping on top. We're not wasting anything here. We did use the pre-made dolmio sauce, the white sauce, just out of convenience, although the fresh always tastes better. I'm not eating the lasagnas, guys. It's just for the kids. None of us actually eat lasagna other than the kids. I don't know what happened. I used to love it. Now I've just gone off a lot of foods. Anyway, I've popped the rest of the sauce into a Ziploc bag. I'm going to flatten it and freeze it flat. So if I want to use some, I just crack some. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anyway, this is everything that I've made. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I did leave some of the mince so that we can just use it for tacos and things like that. Some turned into burgers, some meatballs. That is my 10 freezer food prep done for Ramadan. I'm going to be trying to dedicate less time in the kitchen and more time on my ibadah this year, inshallah. Tell me some of your Ramadan goals in the description box below, and tell me what you make to prepare for Ramadan in your freezer so that I can take some notes and maybe try them in future upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.